Alrighty, guys, it's 3:30. It is Monday, December 29th, and we're gonna wrap it up for today. So far, it looks like we had the early weakness and it didn't really recover a whole lot. This has backed off a little bit, trading right at that volume edge at the 730 on the NASDAQ. On the ES, we're holding below the 69.70, so we're not in a great spot, but not bad either. So that's kind of writing this off as a dud day, not much happening. They retraced it a little bit, so a little bit of weakness to get long against, but as you see, we didn't get very far. No attempt to take it higher or turn it back up above that area, the 69.70s. But if they can get up above it, close above this one, I'm going to start off on the long side. If they close below the 35s, I'm going to start on the short side. Otherwise, I'm just going to start out flat out range bound. It looks to me like the couple of days here before Christmas got reversed, and we're right back into not necessarily into this lower range, but it's definitely backing off the high. So we're holding on in this upper area, but not in trading in down below that 69.20 area. That's going to be the bigger issue. Holding this reverse retest at the 50s for now. We probed down here a little bit, but they did not really make a big dent on the downside. So Santa rally maybe holding on, maybe holding on. We'll see how they end up closing. It will be very surprising, or not surprising, but very in a positive surprise if they close on it above that 69.70. But we'll see how it's going to turn out. So not a bad trading day. It's been pretty much a nice little runs, but not necessarily a lot of follow through with them. But it's been definitely get on a nice trade. You can definitely make something out of it. So on the ES, I tried one trade today, just one. That was over here. That got a long trade on the off the low, on that reverse when it took out the low and started retracing. I got shaken out. No, I scratched that trade, so I didn't get. I scratched that trade when it wasn't developing because this could just as well been a fake out to the upside and then for a retest of the low. So I was expecting a little bit more action. It took a little bit to develop, and I was just already out of that trade. So just two ticks on that one. On the Nasdaq, though, I did a couple of trades, 4 trades on that one. The best one, pretty much shakeout trades until I got to the off that low. Nice little rally, which I missed because I wasn't sure if you're going to try to retest the lows of what's going on there. But they ran it up right up here to that mode, and I got short right against that mode. So you're running into resistance, and right into that mode, they had a previous tab right at that level. So felt like a good opportunity to get short, at least for the rotation down. So got a nice little $40 trade on that one, and that was it. So four contracts up 48 bucks on the Nasdaq, and that's about it. So that's where we are. So I would just start off range bound. If Nasdaq closes above the closes below the 60, the 25 660s, I would be on the short side. If they close above the 780s, I would be on the long side. Otherwise, I'm just starting off range bound. We're going to sell strength up to that 80s and the 40s. We're going to buy weakness down to the 660s or the 620s, 10 to 20s here. So not necessarily a super crazy day for sure. Nasdaq though is holding below that area, the 850, 860s, and that's kind of the issue I'm having with that. That it's backed off that high. That's a little bit concerning, but they did not stay below the 720, that volume edge at the 720. So they're kind of right there in that twilight zone, but it potentially could retrace this and create a little bit more Santa rally for us. So that's about it. So that's the ES and the Nasdaq. So one trade on the ES 250, Nasdaq 48 bucks and 4 trades. And then we're looking at the bonds, and I did not take any bond trades today. I was tempted for a bit, but I could not make out where the edges really are at on this thing. As you can see, kind of sloppy action this early morning trade, right at the open at 116. You had to get short on that second bar if you want to get short. Otherwise, you wouldn't have shot because they already backed off there. So you did no shot of getting short on that third bar. So that was a little bit too aggressive. On the way down here, they took out that low with a little burst, and that kind of got me thinking that okay, maybe they're going to be maybe retesting that. So I did not want to get long on this guy. I could get not good enough trade location. So I didn't do anything. And then back in the midpoint, you don't want to trade in the middle on the bonds because it's just kind of drifting back and forth. So no trades on the bonds for me today. I was watching it, but I'm looking for these setups. So a setup up here against that the open to that third bar would have stayed, and I would have probably clicked in an order. But I could see already at the at the open that they were backing off that, so there's no point. And also this one on the way down here, if that had developed a bit better, we done just a tick below it would have been okay, but 3 ticks down like that, and not gonna leave that alone for a bit. But at support, and you had the levels now. It would have been if you had gone long there, would have been a 4 tick trade there. But as I said, I'm looking for the better trade setup. It's a little bit too aggressive, especially on a sloppy day like this with pretty tight range. So no trades on the bonds for me today, but they're range bound still. So that's back to the ES and Nasdaq, and both of them are range bound. But it looks like they're trying to hold on to the strength. So we may see a little bit of strength developing going into the close. I'm holding out hope. So watch the area, watch the time here in about 14 minutes at 350. You'll see some action right there. Usually that last 10 minutes where you see a little bit of action. It could be as volatile, could be a directional move developing there. So I only trade it when I'm in the hole and need to kind of make up some ground, but otherwise, or if it's a really good setup, but otherwise I would not trade those last 10 minutes. There is some action in those last 10 minutes, so worth looking at. Anyway, we'll leave it there, guys, and I'll see you back in the morning, the 30th, and I'll have better night. Well, actually, I checked the timing. So on Wednesday, New Year's Eve is a full trading day at 4 o'clock close. And then it's closed on Thursday all day, and then it's back on open Friday full day. So only one full day closure on Thursday. That's what it is. Now, news for tomorrow. The only thing we have is at 9 o'clock housing data and Chicago PMI at 9:45 in the morning. So nothing at 8:30. But we'll see you back on the 30th. So a couple of more days, and we'll be in a new year. Alrighty, guys. Later.